Hey, it's Krista with Dirt Locker, the hillside terracing and erosion control system made in the USA from 100% recycled plastic. Today we're in Salt Lake City working on an eroded hillside where we're going to transform into a beautiful garden. For this side yard project, the slope angle is 23 degrees, which means that we're going to use the medium dirt locker. And because this project area is 124 square feet, that means that we're going to use 35 medium dirt lockers set to 36 inches via the chart. The first step is measuring your slope angle. So there's two options here: to use a 4-foot level and a measuring tape to get your slope ratio, rise over run. And option 2 is to use your smartphone, either the Measure app using the level or using the Angle Pro app on your Android. You will need a 4-foot level, a pair of gardening gloves, a measuring tape, a really good shovel, a bucket, and a mallet to complete this project. So at this point we are filling in the dirt lockers with soil, and we actually decided to go with a different pattern. At first we were going to start at the top and go 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 10 rows of alternating 3 and 4. But because this hillside had kind of an awkward slant, it kind of slants downhill but then also sideways, so we decided to kind of do this fanning out pattern to make it more aesthetically pleasing to the eye as we're setting it up. And yeah, soon we'll start putting plants in. We recommend using the drip irrigation system, but if you already have a watering system set up in your garden, like the sprinkler system in this case, go ahead and use that. You don't have to do the drip irrigation. The drip irrigation system will save the most amount of water and target the plants exactly where they're at, so that's why we recommend it. And if you were to go with the drip irrigation, you can install it at this point in the process as you're filling with soil. There are slots here that you can run the irrigation through, or you can wait until the end, put your plants in, decide where your plants are going to go, and then string the irrigation through that way and then target those plants. Another obstacle that we came across was, you can see the drain pipe here. So that when the water came through, it created a really harsh, almost cliff. So the top portion of this hillside is not as steep as the bottom half. So there was a point right halfway through, about this row right here, I think that's the 5th row down, we actually detached it from the system so that there wasn't, so they kind of weren't like lifted off of the ground. They could sit flush with the ground, and then that row requires another round of J-hooks because they're not connected to the system. So that's another obstacle that we came across, and sometimes you kind of just have to go with the flow when you're doing your system. You might think it's going to look one way, and then the ground tells you it needs to be another way, so you just go with it. And so with the top being not as steep as the bottom, we set those dirt lockers closer to 30 inches wide. And as we got down towards the bottom, where it's a lot steeper, we set them more to 36 inches. So there's 3 settings that we recommend, typically based off of your slope angle: 24 inches, 30 inches, and 36 inches. So you're gonna wanna make your dirt lockers wider as your hillside gets steeper. You can always reference the chart on our instructions PDF just to make sure that you're following exactly what your slope needs. And so that's why you can kind of see that they're a little more narrow at the top, and then as we get towards the bottom, they get a little wider. The dirt locker system is completely customizable. So as you can see here, we're working in a smaller side yard space where we've used about 25 to 35. It was kind of, we had to adjust a little bit, so I'm thinking we're closer to 25. But we have decided to put in a little zigzag pathway, and the reason why we zigzag it is because you don't want to have to like step straight up like onto the next level. It's kind of like, actually, here, let me show it. It's kind of like pretty deep to like step straight up. So that's why we have this nice like zigzag pathway, just to make it much easier. Now, you can put in a pathway for easier access to manage your plants. You don't have to put one in, obviously, but one thing that we do recommend is to always plant at least 30% of your dirt locker system, because it's those roots that the dirt locker system is able to nurture those plants so that those roots grow deep into the ground and can create a strong root system to prevent erosion over time. One thing to keep in mind is that I mentioned how like the dirt locker system is completely versatile, so you can do individual rows, you can put thousands of dirt lockers up on a hill, you can do a circular pattern, or you can work around curves, you can work around, you know, square patios. There's so many options. The options are really limitless. It's just up to what you want to create in your backyard and what you want to design. So you have the capability to get creative and have fun and create the dream garden that you've always wanted to on your hillside. All right, so we've got ourselves a drain pipe, and a lot of customers ask us, oh, what should I do with my drain pipe? Should I, you know, put it underneath the dirt locker system? You know, what should I do? And the answer is that to actually mix some gravel, about 50% gravel, in with your soil, and you can put your drain pipe into your dirt locker system. This one doesn't quite reach our dirt lockers over here, but the water will come down this way and into this dirt locker, and then it will waterfall into the rest. So the reason why we have part gravel is because the gravel will help slow down that flow of water into the rest of the system, and then the dirt lockers will catch it and help absorb the water down into those cells.